Let's have a conversation about what we've been witnessing in regards to Venezuela. I'm sure a lot of people have recognized that Venezuela has basically been trampled over since Maduro was kidnapped in Venezuela by the United States and the Trump administration. Let's be abundantly clear. While I am going to provide today a critique of Venezuela and the Chavista movement overall, we should also be aware that I stand in full solidarity with the Venezuelan people and the freedom of Nicolas Maduro. The United States has no right to go in and topple a foreign government or attempt to do so or kidnap their leader for any of the things that imperialism does. But the sad truth about imperialism is that imperialists are going to imperialism. And given that context, some countries in the world built a capacity to resist imperialism because imperialists are going to imperialism. And this is exactly what the Chavista movement in Venezuela has failed to do. Now, I know I sit in the imperial core, and I know that I shouldn't be, according to both Western leftists as well as leftists internationally, saying that I should not be giving a critique to a country that has had a revolution to resist imperialism, even if they fail. But I'm a Maoist, if you will, so I'm going to critique it. So without further ado, I'm going to explain the failure and what they could have done in actually resisting US imperialism. So the Islamic Revolution, as soon as they took power, especially the context that they knew, after the Shah was installed in Iran, after the United States had, as we all know, a coup in Iran to overthrow their democratically elected leader of Iran. So given that context, the Iranians already knew, the Islamic Revolution already knew, we need to build a resistance against imperialism because the imperialists will come back. They will not let us have our revolution in peace. And defending themselves meant not just making sure that the Iranian people had the opportunity to live decent lives, be able to have healthcare, education, be able to have good jobs. But what we see in Venezuela, unlike the Islamic Revolution in Iran, who actually built a military and industrial capacity to be able to resist US imperialism. The Chavista movement under Hugo Chavez did not do that. There was a limited capacity of military development and technological development. There was a limited capacity of a improvement on their industrial base. But when you compare it to Iran, who we are all witnessing right now, has the capacity to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, Venezuela, theoretically, could have had the capacity to shut down the Panama Canal, but that didn't happen. Unlike the Islamic Revolution, the Chavistas, under both Hugo Chavez and later Maduro, failed to actually build some sort of military resistance. And let's be clear, Venezuela did have opportunities. Cuba also had opportunities. All of the pink countries during the existence of the Soviet Union in Latin America did actually have the opportunity to go in this direction. To be fair, none of them had the full historical and civilizational context that allowed them to understand the need to militarize, understand the need to build an industrial base capable of actually building the weapons necessary to defend yourself against the US imperialists. They did not have the civilizational context like Iran in the context of the Shah being installed as their democratic leader was couped from power by the United States and its empire. And one could say there was a reason for this. Maybe it's the Trotskyist influence. Maybe that is a large reason why this went in the direction that it did. But at the end of the day, whatever the case might be, here's the reality on the ground now. The Chavistas have failed as a political movement within this era. There might be an era after this of the Chavista movement, or maybe it's another movement entirely, that takes hold in Latin America and is able to do what the Chavistas today, and historically over the last few decades, were not able to do. I'm not giving up hope on the Venezuelan people. History continues to move forward. And another thing, I do sit in a unique position. While I'm not speaking for the American Communist Party in this video, to be clear, I will say that there is hope because of the American Communist Party in the United States. That maybe these Latin American countries, within the coming decade or two or three, will not have to be in the position where they need to resist imperialism in the first place, and they can freely develop and have win-win cooperation with a new America and the rest of the world. It is a material reality that if you take down the imperial core, the shreds of what is left of imperialism will evaporate into dust. Ashes to ashes, dirt to dirt, the American empire will die, and all of imperialism with it will be crushed. But the only way that is possible, to do it in a way it's lasting, that will make it that the American system never has an opportunity to oppress any other nation or civilization in this world. For imperialism and capitalism to die out as a whole is for there to be a revolutionary movement that successfully takes power within the imperial core. Now, with that being said, I know this is a controversial video to put out, but it needs to be said.